coalition that passed the Community Safety Act used the phrase people over police. Do you agree with the idea of people over police?
I believe in a community before anybody over anybody. But again, it comes down to our police officers are not part of our community. And that is a huge issue because if they're not invested within our community, they're not our neighbors. All they do is this, the 9-to-5 job for them. And they have no investment and no skin in Providence. So I do believe there is a divide between us in that aspect. But I also believe because a lot of it does come from politicians, they love to put a divide between the police for votes and themselves. They make the laws, and then when the cops want to go enforce the laws, they harass the cops and blame the cops for everything. But there's a lot of issues in the police department that needs to be taken care of. They are working on it. I know that. I have talked to some cops, and I have talked a little bit to the union, and they are working on things, and they see the issues with the community too. But I think we all just need to come together and actually be one community. And one of the first steps is to actually get police officers to actually live and own houses in Providence. And then we all can get together and actually live happily and ever after.
In a democracy, I think people over police actually makes a lot of sense. I wouldn't phrase it that way necessarily, but police are civil servants. They work for us in a democracy. We pass laws, so the people that we elect pass the laws, and we give the police certain kind of power and training to enforce those laws, hopefully justly, fairly, and fully everywhere. So in that sense, people over police actually makes a great deal of sense to me. Over the last couple of decades nationally, there have been many court decisions that have in effect put, and police practices that have in effect put force protection for police over the lives of citizens, and in particular citizens of color. We've seen these decisions again and again and again over the last couple of years in which often a white police officer kills a citizen of color and is not held accountable for it. So I happen to agree with David that incentives for future police to live in the city would be a good thing. A diverse police force is an important thing, and a police force that is trained to understand the communities they're policing is also a very important thing. So I don't think there's anything controversial in the sense in a democracy of saying people over police. I think it makes perfect sense.
It's like playing a musical chairs and passing the...
Exactly what it's like.
Sorry. It's stuck. All right. Learning how to handle the microphone. So the Community Safety Act is very important to me. I've been racially profiled right here in the neighborhood, and despite my own privileges, being an educated woman, working at a university, having a professional job, that doesn't take away the color of my skin. And when I was racially profiled, I was stopped and told that I looked like some kid named Terrell. But that didn't hurt me as much as my son, who I just picked up from a bar mitzvah. We just came from Whole Foods, told me, "Mom, I think he stopped you because he saw me in the car." Now that broke my heart. And so with the CSA, like, our police officers are charged to serve their community. And the people in the community are to hold the police officers accountable. And when I was younger, growing up here in Providence, if you worked for the city, you had to live in the city, which is important because you develop this relationship with the community that you're charged to serve. But there needs to be more accountability, and the community needs to hold our police officers accountable, but there needs to be training, and we need to see how the CSA is going to be implemented, because there's no timeline for that right now. But I think it is very important for the community members to hold the police accountable, and it's not just white police officers killing black people, but in Ta-Nehisi Codes, it was a black police officer who killed a black man. So it's structural racism. And so we need to change how we view people of color. And I think it takes the community to engage with one another to do that.
First of all, the people are the police. The police motto is to serve and protect us. We do not want to drive a divide between the police and the community. I support the police, the fire, and the city services. New technologies are coming to the market which will greatly enhance the training available for police. They'll be able to train in certain circumstances that were not available without a huge cost to community. We're going to have better training. We're going to have the CSA go into effect. And at the same time, we have to worry about our privacy. Police offer discretion when families are in upheaval. We're going to have police walking around with cameras going into situations where there could be overdoses, suicides, family disputes. We need to figure out when these cameras are going to be on and when they're not, and who gets to view these very private moments that police see on a daily. It's just very crucial that we're careful.
Just, I think a little factual point that should be mentioned. I've heard a number of people at this forum saying that too many Providence police officers don't even live in the city of Providence. Unfortunately, there is a state law that says that cities cannot require that their police and firefighters live in the city limits. And in fact, there is a bill this year, one of the bills they actually did pass, that's headed to the governor, that's because it passed the General Assembly, that says cities can't even require that their police and firefighters live in the state of Rhode Island. So we don't know yet whether Governor Raimondo will sign that or not, but that was passing the Rhode Island House and Senate for whatever reason. So I figured people should know that, and I didn't want to leave it till the end. Thanks.